Start the show off with Shorty the comedian.
What's going on, brother? What's going on, man?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm great, man. Great.
Welcome to Fathers Are Important, and I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Yes, man. I'm happy to be here, man.
I know who you are. I obviously know who you are, but why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Hey, man, I'm Shawty. What my name is, comedian. You know me from Wild 'N Out, a nationally syndicated radio, Young Jock in the Streets Morning Takeover, and you know, just small comedy forever, man. Just that guy, man. You know, out here, young black man doing my thing, and you know, have to bring awareness to parental alienation, which I'm a first-hand victim of. I give y'all a brief
Spotlight is on you.
All right, so to make it real fast, you know, I have baby mamas that are old. One of my baby mamas older than me, and there was an incident, and she snatched my son away, contaminated my younger baby mama.
How old is your son?
I have a 22-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 14-year-old. I haven't saw my 14-year-old but one time in 7 years, and I haven't had my.
I'm losing you a little bit.
You losing me? Hello?
I'm losing you. Yeah, you're there now. I got you back.
Yeah. So I've been totally alienated away, and the child and the children have been turned against me. No matter how much I fought in court, no matter how many judgments went my way, these women are still able to alienate these kids from us until the courts just come down and lay the law down. And
if you don't mind me asking, what do you mean turn your kids against you? What exactly do you mean by that?
Okay, so I started off when I started in Georgia. You have to have you have to legitimate your kids. So a lot of times guys go along until things happen. Then they realize, oh, I need to go get my rights. I need to go legitimate, and that's when you go to the courts and legitimate and have time. The women have to, if they consent, it's automatically done. If they don't consent, then you got to go and you have to see a judge, and then they go through. And I have a questionable background, but that doesn't have nothing to do with me being a father.
I agree.
And so
I agree.
And so they automatically coerce me with a bad lawyer, and they coerced me into committing to supervised visitation. So I did 2 years supervised visitation, worked my way all the way up to having my son every single day, pick him up from school and in charge of his education, which I fought for. And that's when the attacks really started, and I really became a real targeted parent. And I found out what a targeted parent was. The mother started to tell the child that me picking him up from school every day was punishment because I didn't want to see him, and the judge made me do that.
Now, with the supervised visitation, how long was your kid at your house? How long were you with him?
Man, I did supervised visitation first. First time I did supervised visitation, they sent me to a place in Atlanta called Neil's Place, and they gave me about 2 hours with my son, and we was in a room, and he really didn't understand what was going on. He walk to the bathroom or want me to take him somewhere. Oh, no, baby, and it was really not bad. And the baby mama defaulted on that, so we ended back up in court. And that's when I explained to the judge. I said, I can't go back to that place. I said, can we figure out something else? So the judge said, I said, can I go eat with him at school? That's supervised. I'll be able to go back and forth with his educators, and I could get a feel of his education and at least try to parent from that aspect. And so the judge said, that is a great idea. Yes. So I went to lunch every Tuesday and Thursday with my son for 2 years. And once I developed a relationship with the teachers and the administrators in the school,
I don't mean to cut you off, but if anybody that's watching, you are more than welcome to comment and ask Shorty any comments you want.
Yeah, and if you guys
ask him any questions you want, continue.
If you guys are looking for alternative, if they're trying to send you to a facility, please try to talk to the judge and have your attorneys talk to the judge and say, can I get supervised visitation at school during lunch? That'll give me a chance to be a part of the child's life. That was a positive experience if I needed to go through supervised visitation, which I did not. But that's what I went through. Those are the emotions. As soon as I worked, I got all the way. I got my weekend visitation, got full visitation, and I was picking him up from school. I was in charge of his education and get him back to his mom, homework done, fed, and ready to be in bed by 8 o'clock. That's what the judge told me. And man, as soon as I did it, you know, I was picking up a combative child. So I was picking up a child that had been being talked to at night and told everything the daddy was trying to do as far as the tutor, which was new to him, as far as even down to buying his food after school. He wanted, you know, she wanted to have a hand in control all of that. And once I did not go with their flow, the child had been brainwashed into thinking that that was me punishing him. And so that made him have an attitude against me. And she also told him, you can always call mommy. Mommy will always, you can always come with mommy. So
it sounds a lot like the bitter rivalry that you have between you. Her goal was for her to get her kid to hate you.
Yes. That end up, there was a guardian that lied him assigned to our case, and in her first meeting, she told the guardian, she said, I wish y'all just cut this stupid investigation out and he just go away and I could just raise my son. And that was brought up in court.
There's a question coming in asking from Ming Van Burn. Did the mother change after seeing all the help you have been trying to do for your family? Good question.
Change for the worse. I have orders. She has been to defects. They done tried. She done been everywhere around our superior court judge, which gave me the everyday visitation. She's had me in probate court. She's got restraining orders. She went to Atlanta and got me charged with first-degree child cruelty. I did 2 weeks in Rice Street County Jail. I'm a radio personality. If she had not been trying to get my job from the beginning and they didn't know her tactics since I've been at the station, I would have got fired. We swept it up under the rug. I did 2 weeks without a bond in the county jail. And when I went to my first appearance, the judge said, no, this is no way near child cruelty. I'm not going to let this go forward. And she dropped it to simple battery. And the only reason she dropped it to simple battery is because I admitted contact. And what happened was, he had said, could he go home early from visitation one weekend? And it was like 3 hours. And I'm like, yeah, call your mom. And when he called her, she said, no, you're going to come home at 6 o'clock like the court order says. And so obviously, she always told him, you can always call me and I never tell you no. So
now to comment on what you're saying, from WC Fathletics, they always change for the worse because the court supports that. And what I have to say with that, it's funny that he said that same comment, because last week when I was talking to, I forgot the gentleman, Damien was his name. Damien from California said something very similar to what this gentleman from New Jersey just said. What he said on the show last week was, fathers are important. Women that put fathers through this, they automatically look at it as fathers are important until the breakup. Once the breakup happened, then, oh, your child's gonna hate you. Oh, if you're dating someone else, oh, you're never gonna see your child. You're never gonna be like this. You're never gonna be like that. You're gonna have to go through hell to see my son. Looking at it as my son. Alienating you out as the fact that not just you, all fathers, as if you're just a tool, or as if you're just a sperm donor.
Man, you know, I have done all the research trying to figure out where is this coming from. People like, what did you do to her? I ain't do nothing to her that bad. And whatever, if anything did happen inside our relationship, that has nothing to do with my father. That has nothing to do with after the fact of us trying to co-parent. I've always been a willing participant, and I've always been shoved off. Now my son 14, my other son 17, and I'm tell you the truth, brother. Once I finish this round of courts, man, however it goes, it goes. I've been fighting for the last 10 years. I've spent over
Any
$70,000.
years?
Yes, I said
My goodness.
at least 8 years. You know, I've spent over $70,000 in legal fees. I've had to fight my way out of charges, and it's been hell. Being a targeted parent, it's hell. It's been a lot of days I've cried. This room right here that I'm in right now, this is my son's room, and I live in a part of town that I don't want to live in because it's in his district of his school, and I'm fighting for custody. And if I leave this county, then she could take the case to whatever county I live in. And so I had to move to the county where my judge is. They gave me the visitation that I have not been in front of since I got the visitation, but I've been in front of 5 or 6 other judges with restraining orders, with her going to different counties, filing papers where I work at, and them picking me up at work. By her going to where I used to live at and filing papers there. It's just her trying to forum shop to find a judge to
Personal question, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, and you're being open, and I appreciate that. And for everybody that's new to the show, that's just joining in right now, my name is Arcadio Santana from Long Island, New York. Can you let them know your name and who you are once again?
Hey man, Shawty, my name is comedian. All over, man. You see me in movies, Wilding Out, national radio show. I'm a father first, and that was my lifelong mission, is to raise my kids in a home with myself, which will never happen because I'm terrified of having kids. I'm more terrified of having another baby mama. I just can't do it no more, man.
Exactly. And for those of you that are new, this is Fathers Are Important, and this show is for all fathers, such as Shorty the comedian, to let their voice be heard, and help. And I'm helping raise awareness for parental alienation. I'm sorry to cut you off, but can you please continue?
Yeah, and I just want with these trying times, with the death of black men by the hands of police all the time, I'm not even able to talk to my sons to even see what they're.
I'm losing you, man. Oh man. Can you try and stay in one spot without moving, because I'm losing you a little bit, but please continue.
Yeah. So with the courts, and I just had a compliance hearing, and the judge made a ruling that through counseling we should be rejoined. And a week after we left court, a week after we left court, my guardian in the case called back and said that the guardian called back and she quit. She quit. I don't know if because of my case, but she quit. And we had been a year into the investigation. Then the pandemic came. So now when the courts open, I still have not saw my son. And when the courts open, we have to be assigned a guardian. She has to get refreshed with the case, redo home visits, and then go and talk to the doctor, the psychiatrist, whatever, to give us the counseling we need to be rejoined. Because after being set up, my son said I hit him and I didn't. And he's been brainwashed. And after being set up, I'm afraid to even go around my son without counseling or without supervision. I can't just go pick him up today and think that I'm safe.
So she's leaving you scarred, and that's pretty much her mission to try and kick you away from not being with him at all.
Yes, and I hate to say it, man, but after exhausting hundreds of thousands, almost $100,000 in finances, and letting this overwhelm my life for the last 7 years at least, I have to take control of my life back, man. And I have a career. I have a wonderful career. I have a wonderful job. I bring joy to so many people every day, and that's what keeps me going. But I can't keep living for this, man, because parental alienation not gonna stop. It's incurable to the parent who's afflicting the pain. They don't see what they're doing wrong, and I mean, I pray to God that this
It's
bound.
more about a control thing. That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's
It's a
all about
control
control.
thing.
It's all about control, and I refuse. I refuse to go through it another day. Um, I'm going to go through. I'm going to get. I mean, my lawyer fees are out the roof, man. And just my whole life has just been compromised by this, and I refuse to let it. I refuse to let it do it again. I refuse. I refuse to let this to shape my life, man. I refuse to cry another day. I just pray for my sons that they're okay until we're able to be put back together.
If you could talk to, as a matter of fact, if here's a question that I want to ask you, and I hope everyone listening, if you could change the constitutional rights for all fathers, what would it be? You personally, if you
Right.
had the power, if you had the power in your hand, not just for Atlanta, but for the United States or all over the world, if you could change the constitutional rights for all fathers, what would it be?
50-50 from the womb and rights from the womb. 50-50 from the womb, rights from the womb.
Can you say that one more time so everyone on here can hear you?
50-50 from conception and rights from conception. You lose
And
points as you fall off.
and everyone that's listening right now, if you agree with him 100%, can you please just comment with the fire symbol? And especially if you feel the fire from what he's talking about right now. And I also have another question for you. If you could talk to your kid's mother right now and have a civil conversation with her about all the nonsense and the hell with the arguing, the hell with this, the hell with that. If you could talk to her right now and have a civil conversation to get her to understand how much you love your kids, how much you want to be in your kids' life, how much you want to be an active father in your kid's life, what would that message be to get her to understand why fathers are important?
Man, first of all,
Take your time.
I would just sit down and I would apologize to her.
Thank you for everyone for commenting, by the way, but continue.
I would apologize to her just because I'm not trying to travel in the past. I'm not trying to go back and point fingers of me being charged and me having to pay all this money. I'm not going back and saying you turned my son against me. I'm trying to start from right wherever we're at and moving forward. I'm never going to turn back. So I would apologize to whatever I did to make her feel this way or whatever happened to her in life to make her feel this way. But I want to let her know that she has my support in raising our son. And I'm not going to hold anything against her that has happened in the past. But I would like to move forward in a positive manner so we can raise a functioning kid in regular society who was born at 26 weeks with special needs.
Oh, he has special needs.
Not really. He just has not. She just has not took the necessary steps to bring attention to his the delay. I mean, when he was 1 year old and he wasn't walking, and I was like, this is not normal. I got 2 other boys. He should be doing more than he doing. She should have went to the specialist with me. It should not been his first or second grade teacher to say, we need to put your son in testing when the doctors told us this when he was born in 26 weeks. But Jesus, it's just so much, man. I would just tell her that I hope that, she would forgive me for whatever it was. And if she would like to talk about it, then we can talk about it. But I would like to move forward without malice, without even ever mentioning that you guys falsely had me arrested, without going back saying anything, but moving forward from right now. Can we do that to assure that our son has, from this day forward, 2 parents that at least look like they're pushing together for the best for him.
Whatever she's mad about, she's not even realizing at the fact that she's damaging her own kids by doing that. There's so much qualities that a child can gain out of a father being in a child's life. So much. And her response to you is, I don't give a damn about all that. I'm a father and a mother. There's bitter mothers that put stupid crap on social media that when it's our time to shine on Father's Day, which is like less than a month from now, when it's our time to shine on Father's Day, they put up stupid stuff like, "Oh, I'm a father, so happy Father's Day to me."
Hey,
all of that stuff
I tell my baby mom, I said,
not
you
necessary.
got that hair on your chin right there, girl, that do not mean you no man.
Now you showing your comedian skills right now.
Hey man, just because your stuff stink like nuts do not mean you are the father. Listen, man, you need to let me do my job and raise this man. I have the outline on how.
Hey, let everybody know once again, your name, what you do once again, and the amount of kids that you have that you're going through with this.
Hey man, my name's Shawty. Shawty, what my name is, catch me on Wild and Out. New season. I'm all over, man. What my name is, I coined that phrase. I'm a father of a 22-year-old son, a 17-year-old son, and a 14-year-old son. My 17 and my 14-year-old have been alienated from me. For my 17-year-old, at least 7 years, and I've been fighting those same 7 years for my youngest son. Winning on paper in court, that means I'm not getting convicted of the stuff they shooting at me. They're not putting forth the restraining orders that she's trying to get on me, and they're not taking my visitation. But every time she go and file a restraining order, that's 60-day gap. Every time she go to DFACS and they try to take me to court, that's a 90-day gap. Every time she go and won't let me get him, that's another gap in time to where it's turned into a year. I have not saw my son. I saw him in court, and then he won't look at me. My mom was in court with us one time, and that's
the part that sucks about it is when, because me personally, I deal with stuff like that, and my son is a 1-year-old, and my son's mother brings my son to court as if he needs to be around energy like that.
The judge can't tell my baby mom, say, "Baby, quit bringing this boy to court. Ain't he supposed to be in school? Do not bring this baby to court no more." Look, when I want to talk to the child, I will request that the child comes to court.
What's sad about it is that it's almost like they want to see. It's almost like they want to see the father sad. It's almost like they want to see the father dealing with this, they dealing with that.
They do. That's why I'm not crying no more. That's why I'm not shit. I did one interview. I cried my ass off. Them the last tears. I will not give her the pleasure. I ain't crying. I ain't moving to no more counties trying to follow y'all and trying to hey man, I promise, man, I can't live this. I mean, this is horrible, man. I can only work with legislation. I can only try to work with the people that make the rules and the laws to tell them what I'm going through. I don't want to go against DFACS. I want to go up in there and tell the motherfuckers how they done came and broke my goddamn family up and came between me and my son and how we can fix it from what I went through, what they need fixing from within. They need somebody who's been through it. They need somebody who say, okay, y'all come in and investigate. You come in and investigate, you split the families up, then you find out it's a custody issue, and this parent has came to use y'all to put a wedge between the custody that a judge has put together, and then y'all just jump out and y'all try to mend it. Y'all like if DFACS come into a situation, DFACS is supposed to come in, repair, and when they leave, it's supposed to be sold up. They're not supposed to come in, break up, and realize, oh, ain't nobody hit the baby. Oh, the baby not in danger. Oh, let's go. And you leave it like this.
Before I say what I want to say to you, everybody that's watching now that is new. Huh?
I see somebody say, please answer the question. I'm trying to see what question they got.
What question is it? Please answer the question. Can you please? Yeah. What question did she ask? Question: can a really good pastor or bishop to help bring things together? They're asking, do you think somebody from church can help you bring things together? That's a good question.
That's the only
Thank-
way, man. That's the only way that that's the only way that I go. I got
Is she
tremendous faith.
religious? Is she
Huh?
religious? Is she religious?
Yes, yes. Man, we went to church every Sunday, but some of the biggest devils are in church, and she used religion with my son to turn it against me. I take my son to church, she take him to church. But I don't know what type of religion she over there. But the last time I had my son, and we went to church on that Sunday, and then we went to Top Golf with my pastor. I have a very close relationship with my pastor. As a matter of fact, after all going through what I've been through, my church helped me through my whole ordeal. My church and my best friend, Young Jock, from the arrest to the to everything, even with my counseling. Like, I don't make moves no more unless I check with my pastor and I check with Jock, and they be like, all right, because they was getting me, but the devil picked the right one, and they got the right one because I'm a fighter, and I might not fight her personally, but I will always fight for fathers. I will
Everybody, everybody that are new to this page, I ask you right now to please follow this page, because there's going to be many, many more followers that are going to be on here, like Shorty the comedian, and that's going to let their voice be heard. Tell why they feel fathers are important. Talk about what they're going through with parental alienation. I ask you to follow this page and help me raise awareness for parental alienation. Now, what I want to say to you personally, Shorty, is what your kids may be acting a certain way to you now due to what she's going through. But one day, as they get older and as time go on, they're gonna realize and look at it as a fact that, yeah, I remember going to court. I remember going here. I remember going there, and they're gonna realize that daddy never gave up, because there's not a lot of fathers that are out there like you that would deal with peer pressure, BS, all of that, like what you're dealing with. And to be honest with you, you're dealing with a lot more than what I'm dealing with. Cause I
man,
never
but look,
had.
you just a year in, and I want you to take this knowledge, and I want you to look on YouTube and learn how to deal with a narcissist, because you have to trick them at their own game.
Mm-hmm.
You have to outsmart them. You have to think ahead in order to get what you want. I should have been asking for all the bullshit. I should have been going the other way, because if I would have been like, fuck his education, she would have been like, oh, you don't care nothing about his education, you need to put him in private school. But when I advocate to put him in private school because he has special needs, and she has never done anything but send him to school, to a county school. She has only sent him to a county school. She has never did anything to enhance him, to give him a leg up in life. She has never did any of that. I've been chasing him through these county schools when I wanted him. I have his whole education scholarship out. I got his whole my pastor has a special needs school, K through 12, for young people with IEPs. And I had his whole education already scholarshiped out, and she still refused. She said, we don't need help from your church.
I just want to say something real quick. Lashi Naj, if you want to go live and speak, you are more than welcome to come on here after the two other people that I have next after this. I definitely want to, everybody that are on here right now, if you can please comment and send a prayer signal and keep this man in your prayers. I'm asking you all to please do that right now, because this is completely unfair. And like I was saying to you before, there's gonna come a time when your kids are gonna understand the family court system. There's gonna come a time when your kids are gonna understand the family court system, and how this whole thing with fathers come out to part. And like I said, they're gonna sit back and realize it. And even whenever they have kids someday, they're gonna go back and rewind their life and look at it like, I remember going through this. I remember going through that. You know what? Daddy never gave up.
And he know it, and I'm gonna tell you how he know it, man. I'm gonna tell you what makes my day. It breaks me down so much, you know. I found out his IG page, and I check my story all the time. And when I go and see
I
the
don't
meal,
want to cut you off, but chocolate KLS. This is a I just lost him. I don't know what just happened, but let me try and get him right back on. I don't know what just happened. That was Shawty the comedian, everyone, from Wildin' Out. And I don't know what just happened where I just lost him. But if you're on here, can you please send me another request? I'm gonna give you like a few seconds to do that, and if not, then I'm gonna try and move on with someone else. But wow, everyone, like what this man is going through is completely unfair. He shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to fight so much just to see his kids. Like, even if it's every other weekend, like why go through this? Why put your kids? Why raise your kids up and saying or telling lies that daddy don't want to be with you, this, that, or whatever. Whatever happened in your past with the child father, leave it in the past with the child father. There's kids in the middle of this. Why put them through this? Where is he at? I'm trying to get him back on. Everyone, please be patient. Trying to get him back on live. Please send me a request so you can continue talking. I don't know what just happened. We were having bad signal before with you on here, but maybe we could get you back on and you can finish talking.